You know, I don't want there to be any hard feelings between us, Harvey. When you and, Rachel were being abducted, I was sitting in Gordon's cage. Now, I didn't rig those charges.
Your man, your plan.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things. The mob has plans. The cops have plans. Gordon's got plans. You know, they're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds. I'm not a schemer. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So, when I say, come here, when I say that you and your girlfriend was nothing personal, you know that I'm telling the truth.
I'm gonna need your weapon.
What? Why? Because my wife's in the hospital.
Yeah, that would be why.
It's the schemers that put you where you are. You were a schemer. You had plans. And look where that got you.
Police, of course, are taking every possible precaution and urging everyone not to take matters into their own hands.
I just did what I do best. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I did to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. You know what I noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blowing up, nobody panics. Because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fear. You live. You die. Now we're talking.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakakwadash. Much mercy and true honor to you, brothers. Much honor, much respect to you, brothers out there that's in the spirit, that really believe, that's understanding Yahweh Shai and the new covenant. Because all we're doing is bringing out the new covenant. And we're telling you that agreeing with Yahweh Shai is nothing you have to wait on. It is here. And for some reason, guys, what has happened is guys are against the new covenant. What has happened is, by the psychological warfare with these camps in the world and churches, they have really gotten guys to really be against the new covenant. Like, they hate the new covenant. They hate the sound of being in the new covenant. Like that's something really bad, and that's what the scripture tell you in Isaiah. Good has become evil. People like good and good like evil. Let me grab this real quick, because this is what has happened with our people in these last days, and it's crazy, but this is exactly what's happening. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Right. So Yahweh shine a new covenant. That is light. That is light. But guys are choosing the broad path that's darkness, man, and they're putting these carnal men, these elders, over the Lord. And the Lord never said you needed a new body. And all we've been doing is just telling guys like, hey, the Lord is here now, and you have to believe on the Lord right now. Like, it's nothing you're waiting on. But they call that evil, because that's against the doctrine and the order of the camp. Now, when I read yesterday, going back to how the Lord, he hates the doctrine of the camp. Let me read that again. So going back to this clip that I just played with the Joker, man, what he said people like, like when they have shit planned out, it's cool because they got it planned. Like these doctrines and these ways of men, that shit is planned out. So now what the Spirit is doing is is causing chaos. It's causing a interruption. It's causing something strange to happen. It's making things like it's putting, like the Joker said, it's making guys, when guys trying to plan their shit out, really they don't have no control over the Spirit. And what's happening is the Spirit is breaking things up, and it's making things uncomfortable, because the Spirit is like something you didn't expect. So the Lord and his Spirit is speaking out. It is crying out, and it's going against the doctrines of men and camps. You see what I'm saying? So guys are putting darkness for light, and they're putting the light in darkness. Guys are literally against the Lord. These camps have been set up just for that reason, man. They have accomplished what they set out to do, and it's like only a few men are really going to make it, because what has happened is the doctrines of men are going to get lots of men destroyed. Revelations chapter 2:15. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Galatians, which thing I hate. The Lord hate the doctrines of men. And like what the Joker said, which was heavy, man. Like people like things when they're all planned out. Like it's a planned doctrine. You see what I'm saying? It's a planned out commandments of men. Because the Lord didn't say anything about new bodies, and the new bodies that they're referring to, Paul was talking about those new bodies, but he was teaching in the Spirit of the Lord, understanding the new covenant of Yahweh Shai. That's what Paul was saying. He agreed with the Lord in the new covenant. He was in that new covenant. He was teaching in that agreement after the Lord went on the cross. He was teaching in that. That's why he got put to death for the apostles and so on and so forth. This is Matthew 15:9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the commandments, teaching for doctrines and commandments of men. And that's what guys are doing. They're worshiping the Lord in vain, following after the doctrines of the camp. And so what's happening is the Spirit of the Lord is putting things out of order. It's causing chaos, because the Spirit is speaking, telling you that the Lord is here. And whoever denies the Lord, the Lord is going to deny your ass. But because guys deny the Lord, they've already been rejected. You see? So they reject the Lord because the Lord already rejected them. So Matthew 15:9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines and the commandments of men. This is what this is all set up on, the doctrines and the commandments of men. And I was just thinking about this last night. And I was thinking about it this morning, and I seen the Joker clip, because what Joker was saying was heavy. People are trying to, like, this is usually like with this truth and with the doctrines of the world and churches and camps. It's a planned, organized doctrine that is meant to wrap your mind from you, to get you to disagree with the covenant automatically. But at the same time, you're accepting the darkness for light. You're accepting these old corrupt leaders and all these corrupt camp leaders. You're accepting them, the darkness, but then you're saying that what brothers like us is saying is strange. You know, like the Joker. It's not something that was on that it's not in the lines of the doctrine of the camp. It's something that is causing chaos. See, the spirit is not moving how the doctrines of men are moving. The spirit's not moving like that. And I gotta say, I seen the brother Van Ashton sit down, and brother, just don't even be on these guys videos, man. Don't even leave no comments in these videos, because at this point, these guys that's in these groups, they're gone. They're totally under the doctrines of the camp and the doctrines of the men. Now, what's happening is, because what these guys think, they think that we are camp bashing or we're hating. No, this is what the Lord was talking about in Revelations 2. He said, I'm going to come on you with the sword of my mouth if you don't repent from all that doctrines of the camps and the doctrines of men and what men say. If you don't stop believing that shit, because that's all it is. It's not of the Lord. The Lord brought an agreement. The agreement and the covenant is something very heavy that men had to get people to deny. And it's been done on a heavy level. Now, what the spirit is doing, it is calling out to a few men that's in there like, hey, man, that shit ain't right. Get out of them groups. Get out of there. Because them groups is just a burning building. And from the examination of the video that the brother did, in the examination, we already know what these camps are about. That's why we don't go back and forth with these guys. We're just condemning these guys. And through us condemning and rebuking, we're pulling a few out, because a few actually see like, damn, that is what's happening. So just going back to what Joker said, it's heavy what Joker said, because guys are planning these doctrines and they're planning these heresies. They're planning all this shit. And what's happening is the spirit is coming like a whole nother way. And it's like, it's bringing something different and like something new. And like, that's why they will say to the Lord, hey, what new doctrine is this? Because it's not the doctrine of the fucking camp. And so, like, this is what you got to understand, man. Matthew 15:9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines and the commandments of men. These men are totally in control of these carnal men are totally in control of these camps, and they are teaching their own commandments. They're not teaching to agree with the Lord. Everything else, let's say they might be on point with like a lot of other things and some things. The main thing is Yahweh Shai. He is first. So you're out of order when you don't agree with the Lord and when you don't put him first. So now what's happening is the Lord is using his spirit and putting it on a few men to cause chaos and to bring a understanding that if you deny the Lord now, he's going to deny your ass. You're denied in these last days, actually. And that's why guys are saying we're not in the... if you examine, guys hate the idea even being in the new covenant. They hate that idea. Like, guys' minds are trained through the doctrines of men to deny the covenant. It's heavy like that, man. You see? Let me read this. Yeah, so this is heavy, man. Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. And that's what guys are getting you to do. They're getting you to deny the agreement in the covenant by telling you that you guys are not in the covenant yet. And it's worked. It's working, man. So because guys are not following Yahweh Shai. They're in a reprobate carnal fucking mind frame because of the doctrines and the commandments of men. So what the spirit is doing is causing chaos because it's something you haven't heard before. It's something different. It is bringing like a dis-ease and shit, and like discomfort. It's not comforting. It's like what we're saying is totally opposite from the doctrines and the camps of men, and that is so beautiful. So it goes back to what Joker was saying. Like, guys, they got their shit all planned out, and actually they don't have control over it at all because the spirit is not going that direction of the camp. You know, the spirit is not going that direction of the camp, man. The camp and the Holy Spirit are going two fucking separate ways. And the Holy Spirit and Yahweh Shai is unto life. And the doctrines and the commandments of the men and camps, that's going a whole nother way to death. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Matthew 10:33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. And this is what you have to understand what's happening. Guys are denying the power because of the commandments and the doctrines of men. So now the spirit is speaking out against the doctrines and the commandments of men. That's why they say, why don't you teach what the elders teach? Because that's a planned, organized plot to have your mind to be against the covenant until you get a new body. Man, it's crazy, man. But God, they have like trained the guy's mind to deny Yahweh Shai. You see what I'm saying? And they got you to accept these elderly apostles and their doctrine. And now guys are putting the camp doctrine over the Lord. Because the Lord never said anything about having new bodies. And why is this so important? Because when you understand the assault on Yahweh Shai, this is very important because you have to be believing and walking in that covenant right now. Just like the brother said, guys celebrate the old Passover, but they don't fucking put blood all over their doorposts. They don't write the laws on their doorposts. They don't do none of that. Guys are hypocrites, man. So all we're telling guys is that we're not under that old law. The Lord brought a new law, which is of mercy, which you have to move like the Lord daily. It's not a fucking Pacific day. The spirit is every day. And the Lord brought that. And you have to have love and charity. You have to be doing this out of love and charity. Now, like I say, the cold part about this is that a lot of guys are not doing this out of love of their heart. They're doing this to be seen, for women, and for money. You see what I'm saying? So it's not nothing about the Lord. So that brings me back to this point. What the camps and the doctrines of men are doing, they're using the they're going by the camp doctrine, and that camp doctrine ultimately denies you from agreeing with the Lord right now in this body. Matthew 10:33. But whoso shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. That's right. And that's why they would ask the Lord, they were like, man, well, what new doctrine is this? You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of heavy. What's going on, man? Mark chapter 1, verse 27. And they were amazed in so much that they questioned among themselves, saying, what thing is this? What new doctrine is this? For with authority he commandeth even unclean spirits, and they do obey him. That's right. So even the unclean spirits obey the Lord. And another thing too that I could add to this too, I was thinking about Isaiah 20, when the Lord, Isaiah, he walked around naked as a sign. Like, that was a crazy sign if you think about it. That's a crazy sign. But what you got to understand about the Lord, which guys don't understand, the things that are like that's crazy And just that's not the commandments or the organized way of men or the way how everybody's doing it. The things that are like that are like crazy, like nobody's saying there's something new, like they said, like is this crazy? Is this a new doctrine? Because they told the Lord, I'm gonna read this back. I'm gonna read this a little bit. They asked the Lord, they say, they're like, what new doctrine is they're like, what new doctrine is this? Because it wasn't like the doctrine that was heard from everybody. Like today, these camps and these churches, it's a certain doctrine, it's certain things they're teaching that everybody knows about and everybody accepts. But certain things they're teaching, they're totally wrong, which are going to get your ass destroyed. And one of the main things is denying Yahushua in the covenant that he brought, that you're not in agreement with him. So when you deny that agreement, you're not even in the spirit. And that's heavy. That's real heavy, man. So you're not agreeing with the spirit the Lord brought on the planet until you die or until you get a new body. So what the fuck makes you think you're going to get a new body not agreeing with the covenant? That is crazy. So going back to Isaiah, the Lord, matter of fact, let me read something real quick. See, the Lord brought signs and wonders when he was actually dealing with certain men. And it wasn't like something that was appealing to like everybody. It was supposed to be like something totally like different. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody wasn't getting. So that goes to like another thing too. I seen that video of that lady. She had them demons on her and she was cussing them elders out. Well, hey, when you go back to Acts, even them evil spirits, they knew who Paul and Peter was, but then the other guy, they said they didn't know him. So these evil spirits, they know who the false prophets is. They know who the false prophets is. And it's the ones that look crazy. It's the ones that that are saying the craziest things or saying the things everybody ain't. And they might be crazy. You might think they're crazy or they're bugged out. That's why they call them bug outs and devils and demons. That's what they call the Lord. And then it was like, hey, what new doctrine is this he's fucking talking about? This is Isaiah chapter 20. This is another side of the spirit of the Lord. This is another side of the spirit. And remember, the scriptures say, where many are, that is the gate to destruction. When the Lord only deals with a narrow path. So let me read this right here. Now, this is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1. In the year Tartan came to Ashdod, when Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him and fought against Ashdod and took it. The same time spake the Lord by Isaiah, son of Amos, saying, go and loose thy sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. And the Lord said, like as my servant Isaiah have walked naked barefoot 3 years. 3 years! For a sign and a wonder upon Egypt. Now, walking around naked for 3 years. Now, remember, the Lord's ministry was 3. And the Lord said he sends men out 2s and 3s. You see? The Lord died 33, But walking around naked and barefoot for those 3 years, what that did was, it was a sign and a wonder, and people were looking like, hey, this man is walking around naked and prophesying of the Lord. But that was a sign of the Lord. And the Lord was dealing with Isaiah very heavily. The Lord gave Isaiah a lot of fucking mysteries. He gave Isaiah the knowledge on the Lord. The Lord gave Isaiah the knowledge on the Lord when he was born, knowledge of the Lord when he came, and then knowledge of the Lord when he would come again. In Isaiah 63. So Isaiah, the Lord was dealing with him heavily. But this act that he did, walking around naked, that was like a strange fucking sign. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Like, the things that are like way far out, that's what the Lord is dealing with. The strange things and the strange acts. This is how the Lord deals. So it's like these guys in these groups, they may seem like they're normal, but actually Guys that seem like that will seem like they're bugged out, they're more in tune with the spirit than guys that are acting like they're normal. You see what I'm saying? Because this world is backwards. So you got to understand the spiritual part about it. See, guys are not spiritual, they're carnal. And that carnal shit only came from the doctrine of the camps. That's why we're not under a doctrine of a camp. We're under the new covenant, under the words of Yahweh Shai. We're not under the doctrine of men. All you have to do is read it for your fucking self. And you'll understand that the Lord brought the covenant. So this sign that that Isaiah was walking, that he walked and prophesied for 3 years barefoot, naked, this was a major sign. And people looked at him like, man, this guy's crazy. He's a bug out. In the same way they looked at the Lord. Too, real quick. John 10. It's the same way they looked at the Lord. John 10 and 19. There was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these things. And many of them said, he have a devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Others said, these are not words of him that have a devil. Can the devil open the eyes of the blind? So they were saying the Lord is crazy. The Lord, he got a devil on him. You see, just like with Isaiah. But these were for signs that you needed to hearken to something different and not follow the Y gate, what everybody's doing. Like, you're in these groups and you're following the Y gate, you got to get out of that. And it's only meant for a few to come out of it. Because what's going to happen is these wide gates to destruction, they're going to be destroyed in a heavy way, where you're going to know that the brothers that was called demons and devils and guy was saying all this shit about us, and they put our name in the mud. They called us this. See, the men that seemed that they were bugged out, the Lord was with them. They said the Lord was bugged out and he was a devil. They said Isaiah was bugged out. He's walking around naked. Now, that's a crazy act, but the Lord was with that act because he was with Isaiah, speaking through him. So, going back to what Joker said, people are only comfortable when they're doing things that's planned. They're planning shit, but the spirit, the wind blows and shit happens. Shit happens. It's the spirit. You can't tell the spirit to do anything. That's why what we're saying is causing chaos, and it's causing men to actually hate the covenant even more. Guys are in the spirit where they hate the sound of the new covenant, and that's beautiful. Because what's happening is them true demons out of these guys that's acting like they're normal and shit with the crowd. Really, they're the true demons putting a fucking act on. And we're in our true spirit because the Lord is speaking through us, just like it did with the act of Isaiah, just like it did with the Lord. That's why when you go to this Mark right here, Mark 1 and 22. Mark 1 and 22. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one that had authority and not as the scribes. So this is what you have to understand what's happening. The Lord is raising up a few men to perform strange things and to perform strange acts so that they can pull a few out the fire where the rest of you fucking guys die. You see what I'm saying? So this is not a doctrine of the camp. It's not a doctrine of men. This is what the Lord is saying through the Spirit. Hey, these camps are set up for many to die down that straight path. And like I say, brothers, man, don't even be on these people's videos. Don't leave these guys no comments. Don't go back and forth with none of these guys, because they're dead. They're actually dead. They think they're in the good case, but they're actually dead. It's a perverse spirit out here. Just like the Lord said with Isaiah 19, right before it get to 20, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit, and it's a perverse demonic spirit, which are getting you to actually deny Yahweh Shai. You see, that's a perverse spirit. a perverse spirit is doing things the opposite way than it's supposed to be done. So it's like backwards how guys are moving. And it's meant to be that way. That's why we're at the end of this place, because everything is upside down. Everything is backward. They call good evil. They call evil good. So just a few things to think about. The Lord deals, he's the things that may seem strange, that's what the Lord is dealing with. The things that's normal and that's widely accepted, that is the things going to get you destroyed. You have to accept the straight path. You have to go the path like nobody else is fucking going. And so disagreeing with that covenant and being amongst these groups, that is the path of the fucking broad gate and being in the flesh. All you guys that deny the covenant, that just means you're in the flesh. And so I don't have like for us brothers, we're not gonna argue with guys, man. We're not arguing with none of you guys because you're in the flesh. It doesn't make any sense to argue with. The scriptures say, answer not a fool unless you fucking drop down and you be like his ass. You see what I'm saying? All these guys, they're in the flesh. We're not in the flesh. We know the spirit is dealing with us heavily. It's just that it's strange to guys because it's not their order of way they're thinking and their doctrine, because they're carnal. They're not thinking of the way of the spirit. Hey, but with that, man, Lord willing, that was edifying, man. Lord willing, that was edifying. Hit you brothers a little bit later. Hey, Shalom.
They look thirsty. Well, let's give them something to drink. To the cliffs.
Present out, Pluto. Present out, Pluto.